Fox News alert now. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg finally set to visit East Palestine, Ohio today, nearly 3 weeks after the toxic train derailment. Residents still very much on edge about the situation, and an attorney representing 9/11 victims says they have every right to be. Listen.
And if we have learned anything, it's that the World Trade Center dust taught us that 9/11 didn't end on 9/11. Every single day, at least 2 of my clients is still dying from the 9/11 toxins. If I were giving any advice, I would say wait for the scientists, not the EPA, the independent scientists, to tell us that the water and the air is safe.
House Oversight Committee Chair, that is, James Kilmer joins us now. You know, that attorney made a very good point to wait for the scientists, the independent scientists, to test the water and the air. But my question is, why the delay, and such a big delay, 3 weeks to be exact, from Pete Buttigieg? And then we saw yesterday with President Biden calling finally the EPA administrator and the governor of Ohio from Warsaw, not when he was over in the United States. But why has there been such delay from this administration to contact these people and to show face when such an issue is going on with Americans?
Yeah, this is unacceptable. I don't believe anyone from the administration would have set foot there had former President Trump not already set foot there, and they saw the appreciation and the desperation from the residents there. Buttigieg should have been there on day one, along with the FEMA director. This should have been treated just like any other national emergency, like a hurricane, a tornado, or whatever. I mean, I can only imagine what the mainstream media would be doing if Donald Trump were president and no one from the Trump administration had bothered to set foot there. The fact that the EPA did not roll in there and every other government agency to try to do everything to stop the spread of those chemicals from getting into the groundwater is unacceptable. It's another example of Joe Biden putting America last. To see Joe Biden in Ukraine trying to continue to spend more tax dollars in Ukraine when we have a national emergency in Ohio is just really bad to see.
Yeah, you wonder if Hunter Biden survives this, but in light of everything else that he's somehow made his way through, the White House doesn't seem like it has a proclivity to get rid of somebody despite continuous failing at their job. Speaking of the Bidens, Hunter Biden, let's go to him. Missing the deadline that your committee gave him to hand over documents tied to his foreign business dealings. Did Hunter's attorney give you any reason for completely ignoring your request?
You know, they continue to act like they don't understand why the House Oversight Committee would bother to request this information. They know exactly the reason that we're looking into this. They know about the family's influence peddling. They know that this family has crossed the line. They know this family's taken millions and millions of dollars from our adversaries for no good reason. You know, there's no business to justify the millions of dollars that were transferred into the Biden family accounts. This is a concern, especially when you have the documents that were mishandled in Hunter Biden's proximity. We have specific requests. We've been very transparent about these requests. And unfortunately, the Hunter Biden's lawyers continue to delay. I expect another request from the House Oversight Committee, and then I wouldn't be surprised if subpoenas didn't proceed very shortly.
So you're going to give him another chance. You're not going to do a subpoena right now.
We're doing everything we can by the book to get to the point to where when we do subpoena Hunter Biden's financial information, that the courts will rule in our favor. You have to take steps to make sure that the subpoena wins in court. We're doing everything we can. We unfortunately considered the fact that this family would continue to try to block our investigative efforts. So we're going to make sure every I's dotted and every T's crossed, to where when we get to the point to where they are subpoenaed, that subpoena wins in court.
I want to get your thoughts on this before we let you go, Congressman. Chinese TikTok, we know, run by the Chinese, permanently banning an American company from its site. The American company is called Mammoth Nation. It connects consumers to American-made products. Just a few moments ago, we talked to a spokesperson for that company. Listen.
We stand by the Constitution. We talk about the Constitution. We talk about the values, that have brought us together and made this country so great for so long. So certainly on a platform such as TikTok, that is something that comes into consideration. It makes a whole lot of sense based on who owns and runs that company.
I mean, look, Mammoth Nation is an America First company, very pro-military, unabashedly American exceptionalism. That's literally their business model. On the other hand, you have TikTok, basically run by the Chinese Communist Party. Isn't this further proof, Congressman, that Congress itself needs to ban TikTok in the United States of America? Because basically what you're doing, if you're China, you're banning a pro-America company on American soil.
Yes, evidence continues to mount that Chinese controlled TikTok continues to put America last. They continue to be hostile to American interests. This is something Congress should take action on immediately. What more evidence do we need in addition to the fact that TikTok has lied to Congress, that TikTok continues to send our data to ByteDance, which is owned by the Chinese Communist Party? Surely to goodness, the Democrats will go along with the Republicans and try to ban TikTok. I applaud the states that have stepped up, the Republican states, and banned TikTok on their government devices, but we need to go further. So I am calling for Congress to try to take action on TikTok. I don't know how much more evidence we need to see that TikTok is, in fact, hostile to American interests. We have to take action on this, and I hope that this is something that Congress will take up when we return next week.
Right. I mean, I certainly hope this is something we can see come down the pipe, because when you mentioned that it is banned from government devices, I mean, these kids, especially young kids, they're just a sponge, and it's just infiltrating their minds. So hopefully that is something that they do take up, because it needs to be done. Congressman James Comer, thank you so much for your time this morning.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.